Hello, and welcome to lesson 26. In this lesson, we'll go over the stroke panel and the brushes panel, which are very important when drawing and making any kind of illustrations. For the start, we'll begin with the stroke panel. So let's make a line with the pen tool, swap the fill, so we only have a stroke. Let's make it black, so we better see it, and then see what options we have here. The first option is setting the weight, which makes it thicker or thinner. You can also do that here. And you can access the panel here as well, in the quick bar. Now, you can choose the type of caps, like this. Now, they all seem similar, especially the first and last one, but the one makes caps after the point and one until the point, as you can see here. The next one is about corners. For that, we'll need a rectangle. So we can make it round or cut. Then we can align the stroke to the center, inside or outside. By default, it's aligned to the center, half of the stroke being on the inside and half on the outside. But if we make it on the inside, everything will move inside and also outside if we want to. Okay. Then we have the dashed option, and we can make dashed lines. Now we got the options to preserve exact dash corners and lines, and one is to align dashes to part ends. In this case, it is disabled, but here it works. It really depends on the size of the shape and of what form it has. Then we can define how long the dash should be, and we can also put how long gaps should be. So we can do this, for example. And we can go on as this. This may be useful for making interesting patterns. Okay, the next one is using arrowheads, scaling them down. You can use them on both ends. So let's just put a random one here. Again, we can align them to the inside or the outside, like we had with the caps. And we can choose a profile. Let's disable the arrows for now, so we can see things better. And you can see that the stroke follows the profile. Like this, or like this, or maybe like this. On closed shapes, you don't have a profile. Okay. Then you have the option to flip along, or flip horizontal or vertical, where is the case. You get the idea. Okay, the next one is very important, and it's called the brush panel. This allows you to use custom textures on your strokes. For example, this. If you used Photoshop before, you are familiar with what a brush is, or points, or lines, or whatever. You can also go here, in this button, and you can have your own selection of presets, and you can change them. And they will be saved here, the ones you use. You can also create your custom one if you want. So let's just draw a shape. Let's make it a little interesting, and that's it. We can swap. Of course, it's not amazing, but we can drag it here. And we can choose between various types of brush, like calligraphic, scatter, art, or pattern. For now, we'll choose art brush. And you can choose how to fit. Scale proportionally, stretch, align, flip, overlap, and so on. You can choose the width to be fixed. And we got various options here to switch between guides. We can name it. You can even choose the direction of how it's drawn. So let's click OK. Now, if we choose this brush, we can take, for example, the blob brush or the pencil or the paint, everything that makes a stroke, and we can draw. And if you put, we got a big blob of mass here. Obviously, this is way too big since we made it that way, but we can also scale it down. If you want to change the properties, you just click and you see the effect. You can also make it small like this, which is usually a good idea. You can choose apply to stroke since it's in use, and you got your new shape. You can also click here if you want a new one, or delete a brush like this. And you can choose to expand the strokes and make them custom shape like this, or let them as strokes, or remove the strokes. Okay, this is pretty clear, and now this is the end of the lesson. Thank you and see you next time.